Namaste. This is Michelle Skaletski-Boyd, Soul Journey Guide, intuitive medium, and best-selling author, and this is the Refresh Your Soul meditation. If you've watched the first 2 videos prior to this, then you're ready to refresh your soul. You're ready to step into the energies of love and kindness again. Because as you learned in the previous 2 videos, blame, resentment only keeps you relating to yourself and to the world with feelings of disempowerment. So take a moment now and set your intention. An intention that we're going to use this time together to move through all of the delusions and the illusions to free yourself for good. For as Buddha said, a wise man, recognizing that the world is but an illusion, does not act as if it is real, and so he escapes the suffering. As Dr. Bruce Lipton has shared, the moment you change your perception is the moment you rewrite the chemistry of your body. And might I add, the chemistry of your soul. If you've been through enough suffering, if you recognize where that path already leads, and you're ready to step into a whole new reality, one full of authentic light and love, then get ready, because this video is for you. So if it feels good, bring yourself into a setting much like this. Close your eyes, take in a nice few deep breaths.
Important that you understand that I'm not a doctor. If you are at all multitasking, now's the time to begin to stop should you want to partake in this and really fully experience it. You are driving a motor vehicle or operating heavy machinery, and for whatever reason, I ask you to please pause this, stop it, come back when you actually have a little bit of time to yourself. Knowing that the first step is always self-awareness, and that you're now aware of what it is that's going on. As you remember, as you move into this awareness of understanding that when you blame, when you resent, when you become enraged, you are then outside yourself. And when that happens, you're becoming disempowered. Eckhart Tolle talks about this a lot. You suffer and suffer and suffer until you get to the point where it's no longer necessary to suffer. It's because you understand the deep and profound wisdom, and you truly choose not to be part of the illusion anymore. So taking a few nice deep breaths now. For many of you just starting out, if meditation is new, I recommend that you are seated and that your feet are flat on the floor. I'd like for you to become aware of your body as you now are considering fully connecting and integrating with yourself, with your higher self, with God source, with divine energy. Where do you turn? Where do you look? Where do you go energetically? For many people, including myself when I first began, you look up. Because society has taught us that we look up when we speak to the angels, when we speak to our guides, when we speak to our departed loved ones, when we speak to Source, whom I call God Source, to Divine, to Creator, Infinite Intelligence, call it what you will. And again, we look outside ourselves. And some of you have worked with me privately, and you know the importance of going within. That the God, that the source, that the origin of who we are is within us. Which is why everything that we've ever been taught about connecting with our truth tells us to go deep within. And some of you are already there. You're already centered. You're already aware. And I'm directing and guiding some of you now to go there. And now I also ask you to be sure that you're grounded. We are here on the earth for a reason. This is where our bodies reside. The soul is what allows us to have our human experience. So be aware of your body. Be aware of the vessel. And as you're aware of your feet and gravity, the foundation of this earth, connect then with the breath. And somewhere between your heart and your belly, you're going to feel the origin, the source, the truth of who you are. And if you feel like you're in your head kind of looking down at it and observing it, I invite you to step down. In other words, use your breath and come on down and be in it. And it will feel very much like a natural spring. For those of you who have ever seen a natural spring, you know that it's always flowing, regardless of the time of year. It's always flowing. Even if it's covered up by snow, by grass, it's always flowing. This is your natural spring. This is the source of who you are. Feel yourself connecting again with this pool, this natural spring from within, this pure origin of love's awakening, this wellspring of joy. And as you do, allow it to become more and more powerful. Allow it to begin to spread into the cells, into the fiber of your being. Allow this geyser of light to begin to gush forth into the abdomen, filling the rib cage, moving down into the hips. As you breathe, allow it to open and to expand into the spine, along the shoulders. Feel it move down the biceps and triceps, the elbows, the forearms, the wrists. Allow this stream of consciousness to flow into the wrists and palms, thumbs, the fingertips. And as it springs forth, allow yourself to feel what it feels like to move it through the top of your head, much like a beautiful geyser of light, all around you, in front of you and behind you, to the left of you, to the right of you. And then just notice how you can allow it to flow and cascade from your hips into the thighs, over the knees, down the shins, calves, to the ankles, out the feet. And use the breath to guide it. With each breath, in and out, allow it to expand. As you move into the fountainhead of forgiveness, as you feel the spring of self-empowerment, as you recognize the tributary of truth, breathe it in. And as you feel this wellspring of joy, this geyser of God's source's light, truth of who you are, moving down the forehead, shooting out the fingertips and out the toes. Just allow any energies that no longer serve you to begin to dissipate. Allow whatever story you had attached yourself to be released as you surrender. Begin to feel and imagine this bright light expanding in a beautiful pillar all around you. And as you feel and recognize the stream of consciousness, this spring of self-empowerment, shooting through your fingertips and through the crown and through the feet, recognize that you can use this beautiful essence, this understanding of who you are, much like a power washer. And you can cleanse out any old energies, any old stories from your physical body, from your emotional body, from your self-talk, your intellectual, and from the auric and spiritual field which extends beyond the physical body. You might even imagine that you have this power washer now, and you're allowing it to penetrate every cell, every layer, every fiber of your being. Connecting with that fountainhead, that wellspring that you call God, Source, Creator, recognizing that it's an infinite supply, and that this pure origin of love is literally at your fingertips, springing forth, and that you can use this geyser of light to clear away not only the energies, the residues that were in your field, but also in any space that felt a little heavy or still does. For example, your residence, you might imagine where you live. And just like that beautiful power washer, that pure origin of love shooting out the fingertips, you can use those beautiful hands and that awareness. Some of you are kinesthetic, might even want to move your hands. Imagine that you're allowing this fountainhead, this stream of consciousness, to cleanse and to clear your place of residence. Every nook and every cranny. Doing a little spring cleaning, if you will. Just allow your intuition to guide you. Love and kindness toward yourself and toward others as you refresh and renew the story of who you are the life that you live. You might even imagine the vehicle or vehicles that you drive. You can visualize this wellspring, this beautiful stream, gushing forth and clearing and cleaning energetically those vehicles that take you to and fro. The same goes for your place of business, or where it is that you most often hang out outside the home. Pure origin of love's awakening, this pool within. Recognizing that it's an infinite supply, infinite source, the spring of self-empowerment. And now just take a few deep breaths. And just notice that valuable resource, that pool within, that spring of energy that's so natural and infinite. And sense of gratitude to it. And as you do that, you might even recognize and feel different ideas and concepts that came up at the start of this call. Labels that you may have placed on yourself or others. Stories that you may tell. How you relate to the world, to others. And just recognize that that's an illusion. It might feel like you're tainting your waters, but it's simply an illusion. Recognize the purity of your source and know it's infinite. And recognize that you're the co-creator of your reality. And as you're adjusting your perception, you can transition and adjust how you view and see and interpret the world at any time. Using the breath now to cleanse and clear and refresh any last elusive energies. Now as you move into full consciousness in just a moment, to recognize that whatever label, whatever story you've given to yourself or to others, that all can be shifted now. That you're able to transition easily because you become aware of it. Remember, first step is awareness. Second step is to trust yourself, to move through the illusion, which you did. And now the third step is to allow it to fully integrate. Begin to catch yourself should that old pattern come up again, because it's a pattern. And you now are retelling your story too. Whatever that is, if you've gone through a recent breakup and it was difficult, it's very easy to want to blame and to call whoever it was you were with certain names or to talk poorly about them, etc., etc. Yet that keeps you stuck in that energy and in that story. You may know or have come to know through someone else those people who have relationships that feel healthy with those that they're no longer with. They talk positively about them, even though the story wasn't necessarily all that positive. They talk about things like how they learned from the experience and how they grew as a person and how they were able to get more clear in terms of what it is they want. That's what this is. This is just an invitation for you to return back to source, to return back into the energies that allow you to relate to others, that allow you to detach from that which weighs you down, pulls you in to being a victim, which you may remember when you're a victim, you lose your ability to be empowered. So as you step fully into your truth, and as you begin to recognize and perceive the world from this place of love, from this place, at the very least, of neutrality, continue to send gratitude. Taking a few deep breaths now. Good. As I count backwards from 3 to 1, just being aware of the room that you're in, aware of the experience. And 3, just stretching and moving. And 2, slowly opening your eyes. And 1, eyes awake now. Feeling great.